Today, we're gonna be talking about my favorite type of movies. Movies with zero dialogue and all music. And we're gonna start off strong with the movie that gave the rise of music videos, the classical music. Yes, we are talking about Fantasia, baby. Number 1 and 2. Was there a Fantasia 3? I don't know, probably is. But I watched all of them. And I watched them over 30 times on that like small freaking DS looking device. You know what I'm talking about? If you're old, you know what I'm talking about. Where it was not a DS, but it looked like a DS, and it was only used to play CD like Blu-ray videos, and we had a rip of it. So I would watch that on like long road trips, or when we went on vacation. Me and my sister would watch Fantasia. Now, for those of you who don't know what Fantasia is, it basically was a compilation of animated films that were made specifically to legendary classical pieces. For example, we have this glass butterfly kind of animation that was made specifically to Beethoven's Fifth Symphony. This movie was great for many reasons. Not only was it innovative in terms of the animation standpoint, but it was also a way to introduce classical music to the youth. I feel like the genre in general kind of gets a bad rap of being music that can only be enjoyed by older people, and like it's boring to the youth. But Disney was able to solve this issue by putting really cool, pretty moving pictures to these legendary pieces. And it was just a great way to introduce great classical pieces to kids like me. I can't speak to Fantasia 1990 because I didn't watch it all too much. I mostly grew up on Fantasia 2000. I just personally think that Fantasia 2000 was objectively better than Fantasia 1990. It just felt like a more complete product. The direction of the animations were more concrete. Everything in general just felt more realized. Whereas Fantasia 1990, things kind of felt abstract, and the animations were created just for the sake of the music. In comparison, Fantasia 2000, the animations could almost be a standalone story without any of the music, but it just happened to pair perfectly with these classical pieces. You guys have also probably watched this IP. If you guys hear this song right here, you guys are probably thinking of also this animation. I mean the Rhapsody in Blues animation, and I mean this when I say it. It became synonymous with the Fantasia animation as well. Like when people think of this song, they also see the scenes of this movie, unknowingly. It's crazy to say that because of this movie, this song got a lot more notoriety and is now more well known. Great publicity. The Firebird Suite Mother Nature, I mean, you guys just have to watch this. It is so beautiful, and I don't cry to a lot of movies, but if I do cry, it's usually because the animation slaps and the music is just out of this world. Out of this world. You guys have to watch it. I'm not gonna even spoil anything. You can watch it on YouTube if you don't want to watch the full movie. Just go watch it. This is one of my personal faves. Kind of funny how it's such a shift, but flamingos with yo-yos. As a kid, that's just cool. And as an adult, I really admire the fact that Disney allowed these animators to just kind of have the creative direction of what they personally saw when they listened to the piece, The Animal Carnival. All in all, Fantasia's a banger. You guys have to watch it. And it's definitely my Mount Rushmore of films with no dialogue. Another favorite of mine, Peter and the Wolf. You guys might have seen the silent film version where it was like almost like clay animation. I actually haven't watched that one, so maybe I'll watch that today, I don't know. But I watched the OG one on VHS. I know it sounds like I'm aging myself, but I was actually still born in 03. It's just my family held on to a lot of older things for a longer time. I had VHS around till like the age of 8. And we watched Peter and the Wolf on VHS a whole lot because we didn't have that many movies. But what was cool about Peter and the Wolf is there was actually a classical piece, I believe, that was written, and they made the movie to that classical piece, and that piece is pretty legendary. And you know, each character has a theme. You know, the bird has a theme, and it goes like this. And then Peter has a theme, and it goes like this. You know, all these characters have a theme, and the wolf has a theme, and obviously it's very scary. It sounds like this. And that was super cool as a kid, seeing each character have like their own little song. So whenever they were introduced, they would come in and then the song would like kind of layer on top of each other depending on how many of those characters were in the scene. It was just amazing to watch. And it's the same style as Fantasia where the animation fits exactly what's happening in the music. And it just really creates this cohesive piece of art, is the best way I can put it. But I recommend Peter and the Wolf. It was amazing. It taught me as a young kid about themes and how each character can have their own theme. Finally, we're talking about one of the greats and honestly one of the most underrated films, in my opinion, of all time. And it's a Christmas one, The Snowman. Now, to be honest, I might make a whole separate video on The Snowman because it impacted me a lot, even today. My earliest memories of this movie was like when I was 4 years old and I used to watch this religiously on Christmas. And I would watch this religiously in the winter. It was one of the first movies I ever watched where it had no dialogue and everything was said through the music. It's a little different from Fantasia and Peter and the Wolf because Fantasia and Peter and the Wolf, they took the music and then they animated to the music. But in The Snowman, they made the animation first and then the music matched the animation. That's what it kind of feels like, but nonetheless, a great, great, great film. And the music is ethereal. Best way I can describe it, ethereal. And it just makes you feel really warm. And it's a great heartwarming story about, a snowman who comes to life. It's a classic. It is an older film, but the animation is like it's so warm and inviting. I just have really great memories of this movie. And I remember specifically in elementary school, our music teacher actually made us write what the music made us feel, and then we would see if what we wrote matched to what the movie was showing and what the movie thought the music was trying to say. So if you guys got time, lock in and tap in with them silent films that are all music, no dialogue, because sometimes those are the best ones. Anyway, if you enjoy this kind of content, consider subscribing, and yeah, catch you in the next one. Peace.